Lesson 3.6 starts by reviewing students' understanding of how gravity affected the tennis ball and the foam ball from the previous lesson. The likely misconception is that gravity pulls on all objects with the same force. And this misconception is explored in greater depth in this lesson. A video is embedded in the lesson plan for students to watch, while the digital kit manual also includes 2 additional video clips to really drive this point home. All of the videos demonstrate how objects dropped precisely from the same height will fall at the same rate unless air resistance is a significant factor. The videos in Lesson 3.6 are more accurate in how they describe gravity's pull on each ball or object. And an explanatory poster is also included in this lesson, which can be shared with students after these videos to review. Lesson 3.6 suggests having students conduct an investigation with 2 pieces of paper, one flat and one crumpled, to determine whether the mass of the paper has changed. Students should be able to apply their understanding of mass from the previous 5 kit lessons to determine that the mass of the paper from one sheet to the next has stayed constant. Because the idea of air resistance is not such a central focus to our Tennessee gravity standards, alternate drop trials could be conducted instead between any 2 objects in the classroom. As long as air resistance is not a significant factor for these objects, any 2 objects should be observed to fall at the same rate. If students continue to grapple with the idea that gravity must pull on objects with a different amount of force depending on that object's mass, try the following activity. Place a tennis ball and a foam ball on a starting line. And this could be on the floor or on a counter. Tell students that this starting line represents a height, such as the roof of a building. And then set up a finish line to represent the ground. Have students act out the role of gravity by pushing both balls in such a way that they need to cross the finish line at the same time. Students will quickly discover that if they use the same force on both balls, so for example, I'll take a ruler and I'll set it behind both balls, so when I push, the same push force will hit both of them. Students will discover the lighter ball will cross the finish line first. The only way to make the balls move at the same rate is to push the more massive ball with a little more force and the less massive ball with a little less force. This works really well if you have access to a medicine ball and a basketball, as students can really feel the difference in force required, and this can be a useful hands-on way to picture how gravity works. Lesson 3.6 concludes the kit lessons, which focus on gravity as the big idea. So any lingering misconceptions that students have at this point in the kit should be addressed before moving on to the remaining kit lessons, which are going to use pendulums to focus on the big ideas of balanced forces and simple harmonic motion.